Here, water dominates people's lives. People live, travel, and coexist with water, year in, year out. This is Myanmar's Inle Lake. In the winter of 2007, Wong man arrives at Inle Lake. Unlike other visitors, he's searching for a local species of cat.
往啊，从书里面看，都知道缅甸猫原来这是很主要的一个猫的品种，很特别的，是一般是寺庙里面才养着，还是一些皇家才有的猫。
Wong begins to walk around Inle Lake, looking for signs of the cats. The lake is located in the southern part of Myanmar, more than 30 kilometers from Ta Ong Yi, the capital of the Shan state. It's the second largest lake in Myanmar and lies at an altitude of 1,300 meters. Inle Lake originally consisted of 4 smaller lakes with a total area of about 480 square kilometers. It was more than 6 meters deep. Surrounded by mountains in 3 directions, the lake has been shrinking because of increasing deposits of mud and a lack of rain. Nowadays, because of an extended drought, the lake only covers an area of around 140 square kilometers and is just 2 meters deep. The lake is over 20 kilometers long from south to north and a little less than 10 kilometers from east to west. From the air, it seems to be the shape of a standing bear. There are many temples around the lake. Wong enters one known as the Jumping Cat Monastery.
在这个英里湖，除了它的地方特别漂亮了，我就去看到他们有一个庙叫做一个寺庙，他拿你的和尚为照的那些猫跳的一个圈圈，怎么跳？
The temple is quite famous and has plenty of guests. According to local people, monks in Myanmar have always had a tradition of adopting stray cats. One day, the monks at this temple came up with the idea of training them to jump through hoops. That's how the temple got its name.
去看了之后，我说，哎。 这个怎么不是缅甸猫，都是全是一般的花猫啊什么的，什么颜色的猫都有。我就问起有没有缅甸猫？我想看看缅甸猫，谁都年轻一辈听都没有听说过缅甸猫。
There isn't a single Burmese cat in a temple that is famous for its feline guests. The local people haven't even heard of the breed. Wong is puzzled. So he begins to look for these rare creatures outside the temple. There's no need to worry about accidents on the lake. These people go everywhere by boat and are highly skilled. Large or small, their boats are used for transportation instead of a matter of status. The only things they care about are their boating skills. Wong was born in Hong Kong and has been exploring and protecting wild animals for almost 40 years. When he was a young man, he dreamed of being close to nature and animals. Now his dream has become his career.
你跟人来往，你不会觉得自己很渺小，但跟大自然来往的时候，你就知道自己只是很小，你可以感受到它多伟大。
In 1986, Wong established a non-profit organization, the China Exploration and Research Society, and became its president. Long before he came to Myanmar in search of Burmese cats, his society was actively protecting a broad range of endangered species. It's his concern for Burmese cats that drew him to Myanmar in the first place. Nan was born in Ta Ong Yi and has received higher education. Now she runs the family textile factory beside Inle Lake. Every day, she shows her textile products to customers.
This village name is Inle village, and the population of village is 300 families living in this village. And this village is around about more than 100 years ago. It's the Inle people are living in this village.
Inpoko village lies to the south of Inle Lake. There are 5 textile factories in the village. Nan's factory is the oldest of the 5 and also the largest, both in terms of area and scale. Her husband's grandfather built the factory back in 1932. Wong pays close attention to animals, especially those threatened with extinction.
缅甸猫是很有名气的猫种，像是波斯猫啊、暹罗猫啊，怎么样是名种来，尤其是不容易得到的。
Persian cats rank first among pet owners, followed by Siamese. In the 3rd place is the Burmese cat. Wong has searched almost all the villages here to find one. There are more than 200 villages surrounding Inle Lake. They're all connected in various ways. Despite the lack of traffic lights or traffic police, the villagers still obey the traffic rules. Accidents are almost unknown here. In all his days spent near the lake, Wong has never seen anything but ordinary cats. Everyone he asks says the same thing. They have never even heard of a Burmese cat, let alone seen one. Wong makes up his mind to search for more clues.
那问来问去都没有，我就回家之后我就调查，很多书本都说1930年之后，基本上缅甸猫在本土已经没有了。
This is the elusive Burmese cat. It's chocolate brown, clever, meek, and used to be a common sight in palaces and temples. Today, the cat is confirmed by experts to have disappeared in its home country. If true, this would be quite a loss for Myanmar. In 1992, the wild yak in China's Aitun Mountains was listed as a protected species by Wong Society. The following year, the Tibetan antelope was also added to the list. So was the black snub-nosed monkey and other precious wild animals. For 80 years, Nan's textile factory has been expanding. Its output has been increasing, and the number of workers has steadily grown. But the old machines and traditional method of crafting haven't changed with the times. It's said that the craft has been passed down from generation to generation for over 100 years.
Conserving the traditional weaving is we can show the people about the traditional handmade of Inle, and then we can give the jobs to the villagers to earn the money and to live easily in their life.
Because of its primitive simplicity and purity, Inle Lake has always been one of Myanmar's most famous tourist attractions. The sound of these old looms has also made the village known to all. Because even in Myanmar, tools like this and even the textile craft are rare sights. Wong's sources have informed him that Burmese cats lived in Southeast Asia for over 1,000 years. But 2 years before Nan's factory was built in 1932, they disappeared. Wong decides to make a decision based on his gut instinct and experience.
我就想啊，这个可能是个很有意义的项目，怎么把缅甸猫重新引进缅甸来？
The earliest records that Wong has been able to find, which mention the Burmese cat, come from Thailand. In the 18th century, Burmese soldiers took a few cats to Thailand during their invasion of the country. In the late 19th century, the British came to Myanmar and took a large number of Burmese cats to Europe. Meanwhile, in Myanmar itself, local people bred them with other cats, resulting in the disappearance of the breed. As a result, to this day, purebred Burmese cats can only be found in Europe.
开始以为很简单呢，买几只猫送进来就可以办了，现在做起来也不是这么简单。
Sure enough, Wong finds what he is told are Burmese cats in Britain, America, and Australia. But the cats in these three countries are all different. The problem now lies in determining which line is the genuine pure breed.
在美国的缅甸猫，它们已经改良种了。
American Burmese cats have blue eyes, while British and Australian ones have gold or green eyes.
眼睛啊，包括它的体型啊，都不太像这个远东的这个瘦瘦的猫。那美国奇幻好像它主人一样胖胖的嘛，它的猫也要 啊，养得胖胖怎么样？
Having been away from home for almost a century, the cats have been changed by interbreeding according to the tastes of their new masters. What Wong needs to do is work out what Burmese cats look like before various changes were introduced into the breed.
那我们调查完之后做的呢，就是英国跟澳大利亚的缅甸猫是最标准的，最接近原来的样子的了。就是它这个猫呢，最原始的品种是加菲系的，但是它的耳朵、嘴尖、它的脚尖、它的尾巴都是深黑系的，所有的点都是带黑的。
Wong traveled to London to purchase purebred Burmese cats. But when he stated his purpose, his offer to buy the cats was constantly rejected. Eventually, Wong has to hide his intention of repatriating the cats and finally managed to buy 4 in a pet shop. Then he contacted an Australian cat breeder named Verushka Mold.
I first met Howman in Australia in 2007. He came to see me to talk about the Burmese, basically, that he wanted to introduce Burmese back into Burma. And I showed him what I had, and I was very interested in doing that. I was very happy to help in his project. So I initially sent them a breeding pair, and that was in 2008.
In 2007, 3 male and 3 female Burmese cats from Britain and Australia arrive at Wong's home in Hong Kong. But he was in no hurry to take them back to Myanmar.
我担心要养不好，又要重新再找，很困难才找过来，这个不容易的一个机会。
It took a lot of money, time, and perseverance for Wong to find these cats.
那我们就在我香港的家，开始尝试繁殖这个猫。
Whether these 6 cats can successfully produce offspring similar to the original breed remains to be seen. But at least the first step has been taken.
With the cat, the Burmese cats, they have like a beautiful sable colored brown all the way through. They don't have a long whippy tail. It's just a short, it should actually come to the center of their stomach. As you can see, the face is slightly darker. The ears are a little darker. They have between gold to yellowy to a very pale green color eye. Okay, all of them are acceptable, basically. They're a slim cat, very short hair.
Obviously, the 6 cats all fit Verushka's requirements in a Burmese cat.
Sometimes he actually got his head on my keyboard all the time. And of course, my screen female, how many female? Okay.
Now the biggest concern is to wait for the kittens to be born. Nan places a number of scarves in the most eye-catching part of her shop. They vary in price from $120 to $200 US, higher than other handmade scarves. Nan says that this is because the material is unique.
For the small scarf, that is, we need 8,000 stems of the lotus. 8,000, yeah, for one show. And for producing for one piece for one person, it will take within 1 month.
It is well known that silk produced by silkworms is a top quality material. But few people know that silky fibers drawn from lotus stalks can also be used to make cloth. According to Nan, this is such an ancient craft in Myanmar that the fibers produced by this process is almost regarded as priceless.
The lotus history is since 100 years ago, from other place, from other village, from Inle Lake, the old lady is invented this lotus fabrics. She was thinking about to donate the monk to the Buddha images and the monk to donate them, and then she tried to weave the lotus fabrics.
Several months have passed, and Burmese kittens have just been born at Wong's home. Like other cats, the gestation period for Burmese cats is 3 months. But the coloring of the kittens is not as dark as their parents.
The Burmese cats come in 4 basic colors. The original was the brown, then there is the blue, a chocolate, which is a cream color with darker points, and what they call a lilac, which is like the color of fresh cream.
According to experts, the perfect Burmese cat would be completely brown. But it's also normal if some of the offspring are gray or blue.
我们现在生下来的小猫，绝大部分，我估计80%、90%都是咖啡系的，个别有些时候会出灰颜系啊、蓝颜系的那些，但是那是个别的案例。所以看来我们开始来的种猫，它基因的基因呢，绝大部分都是最原始的那一个品种。
Obviously, it's a good start. In Myanmar, most people believe in Buddhism and have a deep respect for the lotus plant. Legend has it that Sakyamuni himself wore clothes made of lotus silk. This legend is another story, which seeks to explain the origin of this unique silk craft. If it's true, the silk-making technique is even older than generally believed. It's this legend that gives Nan the inspiration to keep this venerable craft going. Burmese cats are always mistaken for Siamese cats because they have similar colors. The two breeds are often interbred, which has led to Burmese cats becoming more and more like Siamese in terms of coloring and temperament.
What happened in the 1930s, there was a gentleman called Dr. Thompson from Los Angeles, California, and he went to Burma and he brought back some of these brown cats. They had no cat in America to mate them to, so they used the Siamese cat, and they mated these original cats from the jungle to these Siamese cats. What they then had in a litter, they would have, let's say, 2 Siamese, 3 Burmese, whatever mixture. They would keep the brown cats and use them for mating to other litters that they had produced using the Siamese. And that's how we today have our Burmese, but they did have originally Siamese in them.
After the breed developed by Joseph Thompson became stable, pet owners tried to register the breed with the Cat Fanciers Association. In 1936, the CFA accepted the application and defined the new breed. Since then, the Burmese has become a completely independent breed. Although these cats are definitely not the same as the original breed, which lived in Myanmar before the 1930s, Wong's efforts are still worthwhile. In less than a year, Wong's cats have increased in number and continue to be playful and healthy.
最多的时候，我曾经在香港2008年上半年的时候，我居然有19只猫在家里面。
In 2008, it was time for the cats to return home to Myanmar. Wong wants them to live and reproduce in their true home. The best choice for their release is Inle Lake because its inhabitants are so focused in safeguarding their traditions. The Burmese cats are going back to their homeland, for which they've been away for almost a century. Are they going to reproduce successfully and reconstruct the species in that strange and faraway land? Please join us for part 2 of Return of the Burmese Cat.